Hare Krishna. Thank you, Dave. Hare Krishna. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Daily Srimad Bhagavatam class. Today we are reading chapter 15 of Canto 5. And the topic today, is watering the root of the tree. And it's only 16 verses long, this chapter. So we shouldn't have an issue getting through it, kind of quickly, I guess you could say. So if we can, when you get the mic, if you can read at least two texts, maybe even three if they're short. And we'll get to text 13, which is our focus verse. Is this a piece of glass leaning right against this? Sorry. I don't know if that's safe. Yeah, watch. Be careful. Definitely somewhere safe. Andre Gopika or Day, you probably could put it over there for right now. Yeah, because a lot of people walk right there, and Oh, thank you. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Jaya Gopi Janavallabha Girivaradari. Jaya Gopi Janavallabha Girivaradari. Yashoda Nandana Brajajana Ranjana. Yashoda Nandana Brajajana Ranjana. Yamuna Tiravanachari. Yamuna Tiravanachari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Jaya Gopi Janavallabha Girivardhari Gop. Yashodhanandana Brajajana Ranjana Yasho. Yamuna Tiravanachari Yamuna Tiravanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunjabiyari Radha Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Hare Jaya Radha Madhava Shri Radhe Jaya Radha Kalashanji Shri Radhe Jaya Radha Govinda Shri Radhe Jaya Prabhupada Srila Prabhupada 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 Jaya Prabhupada Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. If we can read the invocation verses together, both Sanskrit and English, please. Narayanam namaskritya naram chaiva narottamam devyam sarasvatim vyasam tato jayam udirayat. Before reciting the Srimad Bhagavatam, which is the very means of conquest, one should offer the respectful obeisances unto the personality of Godhead, Narayan, Narayan Rishi, the supermost human being, unto Mother Saraswati, the goddess of earth, and to Sri Vyasadeva, the author. Nashta prayasha abreshu nityam bhagavata sevaya bhagavati uttama sloke bhaktir bhavati naishtaki. By regular attendance on classes on the Bhagavatam and by rendering service to the pure devotee, all that is troublesome within the heart is almost completely destroyed, and loving service unto the spirituality of Godhead, whose praise with transcendental songs establishes an irrevocable fact. Om Megyan Temarandasya Gananjana Salakaya Chakshuramritam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namah. Born of the darkness of ignorance, and my spiritual master opened my eyes with the torchlight of knowledge. I offer my respectful obeisances unto him. Hare Krishna. Okay. Chapter 15 of Canto 5. Let's get into verse 1. And if, 2 to 3 verses. So if you got 2 verses that are a little bit longer, that's fine. And then if you have maybe one in there that's short, go ahead and read 3. Please.
Text 1. Srila Sukadeva Goswami continued. The son of Maharaj Bharat is known as Sumati, followed the path of Rishabhadev. But in the age of Kali, some unscrupulous people will imagine him to be Lord Buddha himself. These people will actually be the atheistic and a bad character, will interpret the Vedic principles in an imaginary, infamous way to support their activities. Thus, these sinful people will accept Sumati as Lord Buddhadev and propagate the theory that everyone should follow the principles of Sumati. In this way, they will be carried away by mental concoction. From Sumati, a son named Devatajit was born from the womb of his wife named Viridasena. Thereafter, in the womb of Asuri, the wife of Devatajit, a son named Devadumya was begotten. Devadumya begot in the womb of his wife Dinumati a son named Parameshti. Parameshti begot a son named Paritiha in the womb of his wife Suvrachala.
Title of this chapter is The Glories of the Descendants of King Priyavrata. So we're going to hear a little bit of genealogy? Yeah. Genealogy?
Okay. Right? King Pratiha personally propagated the principles of self-realization. This way, not only was he purified, but he became a great devotee of the Supreme Person, Lord Vishnu, and directly realized him. In the womb of his wife, Suvarchala, Pratiha begot 3 sons named Pratiharta, Prastota, and Udgata. These 3 sons were very expert in performing Vedic rituals. Pratiharta begot 2 sons named Aja and Bhuma, in the womb of his wife named Stuti. In the womb of his wife Rishikulya, King Bhuma begot a son named Udgita. From Udgita's wife Devakulya, a son named Prastava was born, and Prastava begot a son named Vibhu through his wife Yutsa. In the womb of his wife Rati, Vibhu begot a son named Pritushena. Pritushena begot a son named Nakta in the womb of his wife named Akuti. Nakta's wife was Druti, and from her womb the great king Gaya was born. Gaya was very famous and pious. He was the best of saintly kings. Lord Vishnu and his expansions, who are meant to protect the universe, are always situated in the transcendental mode of goodness, known as Vishuddha Sattva. Being the direct expansion of Lord Vishnu, King Gaya was also situated in the Vishuddha Sattva. Because of this, Maharaj Gaya was fully equipped with transcendental knowledge. Therefore, he was called Mahapurusha.
In these next few verses, we'll hear more about King Gaia. Pretty amazing devotee.
King Gaya gave full protection and security to the citizens so that their personal property would not be disturbed by undesirable elements. He also saw that there was sufficient food to feed all the citizens. This is called poshana. He would sometimes distribute gifts to the citizens to satisfy them. This is called prinana. He would sometimes call meetings and satisfy the citizens with sweet words. This is called upalalana. He would also give them good instructions on how to become first-class citizens. This is called anushashana. Such were the characteristics of King Gaya's royal order. Besides all this, King Gaya was a householder who strictly observed the rules and regulations of household life. He performed sacrifices and was an unalloyed pure devotee of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. He was called Mahapurusha because, as a king, he gave the citizens all facilities, and as a householder he executed all his duties, so that at the end he became a strict devotee of the Supreme Lord. As a devotee, he was always ready to give respect to other devotees and to engage in the devotional service of the Lord. This is the Bhakti Yoga process. Due to all these transcendental activities, King Gaya was always free from the bodily conception. He was full in Brahman realization, and consequently he was always jubilant. He did not experience material lamentation. Although he was perfect in all respects, he was not proud, nor was he anxious to rule the kingdom. My dear Parikshit, those who are learned scholars in the histories of the Puranas eulogize and glorify King Gaya with the following verses.
It's quite amazing, right? To think of how much the king cared of his citizens and the ruling over the citizens. It was just this wonderful service attitude to make sure that everybody was taken care of and everyone was given full opportunity to become Krishna conscious and contribute to society. Go ahead, please.
Text 9. The great King Gaya used to perform all kinds of Vedic rituals. He was highly intelligent and expert in studying all the Vedic literatures. He maintained the religious principles and possessed all kinds of opulence. He was a leader among gentlemen and a servant of the devotees. He was a totally qualified plenary expansion of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Therefore, who could equal him in the performance of gigantic ritualistic ceremonies? Text 10. All the chaste and honest daughters of Maharaj Daksha, such as Shraddha, Maitri, and Daya, whose blessings were always effective, bathed Maharaj Gaya with sanctified water. Indeed, they were very satisfied with Maharaj Gaya. The planet Earth personified came as a cow, and, as though she saw her calf, she delivered milk profusely when she saw all the good qualities of Maharaj Gaya. In other words, Maharaj Gaya was able to derive all benefits from the earth and thus satisfy the desires of his citizens. However, he personally had no desire.
Although King Gaya had no personal desire for sense gratification, all his desires were fulfilled by virtue of his performance of Vedic rituals. All the kings with whom Maharaj Gaya had to fight were forced to fight on religious principles. They were very satisfied with his fighting, and they would present all kinds of gifts to him. Similarly, all the Brahmanas in his kingdom were very satisfied with King Gaya's munificent charities. Consequently, the Brahmanas contributed a sixth of their pious activities for Gaya's benefit in the next life.
Wow. You know, it's like 17% of your pious activities is just like whoop, going right to the king. So nice, right?
In Maharaj Gaya's sacrifices, there was a great supply of the intoxicant known as soma. King Indra used to come and become intoxicated by drinking large quantities of soma rasa. Also, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Vishnu, the Yajna Purusha, also came and personally accepted all the sacrifices offered unto him with pure and firm devotion in the sacrificial arena.
Okay, let's stop right here, and we'll go to 13. And we'll just start right here, and then the last 3 verses, if you would like, you can do them as homework. You know. Yat prinanad bar hasideva tiryan. Yat prinanad bar hisideva tiryan. Manusha virutranam avirinachat. Manusha virutranam avirinachat. Priyeta sadya saha vishvajiva. Priyeta sadya saha vishvajiva. Prita svayam pritim ajadgayasaya. Prita svayam pritim agyadgayasya. Bolo, please. Yat prinadad bar hisideva tiryan. Munashaviratranam avirinachat. Priyeta sadya saha vishvajiva. Prita svayam pritim jagayasya. Yat prinada bar hisideva tiryan. Munashvirutranam avirinachat. Priyeta sadya saha vishvajiva. Tasmayam. Word for word, all together, please. Yat prinat, because of pleasing the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Barhisi, in the sacrificial arena, Devatiryak, the translation and purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. When the Supreme Lord is pleased by a person's action, automatically all the demigods, human beings, animals, birds, bees, creepers, trees, grass, and all living entities, beginning with Lord Brahma, are pleased. The Supreme Personality of Godhead is the Supreme Soul of everyone, and He is by nature fully pleased. Nonetheless, He came to the arena of Maharaj Gaya and said, I am very pleased. Purport. It is explicitly stated herein that simply by satisfying the Supreme Personality of Godhead, one satisfies the demigods and all other living entities without differentiation. If one pours water on the root of a tree, all the branches, twigs, flowers, and leaves are nourished. Although the Supreme Lord is self-satisfied, He was so pleased with His behavior of Maharaj Gaya that he personally came to the sacrificial arena and said, I am fully satisfied. Who can compare to Maharaj Gaya? Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. So we've heard this analogy. We hear it often by Srila Prabhupada, right? That if we water the root of the tree, then everything on the tree becomes taken care of nicely. The limbs, the branches, the leaves. And came to mind is Bhagavad Gita 10:8, where Krishna says that I am the source of all spiritual and material worlds. Everything emanates from me. The wise who know this perfectly engage in my devotional service and worship me with all their heart. And so we can understand that everything is coming from Krishna. Everything is emanating from him. Everything's coming from him. And we can understand that Krishna, anything that he gives us isn't ours. We're simply just the holders of it. We're like the renters, right? In a house, if you're renting, you don't own the house, and you never should think, oh, this is my home, I own it. That would be stealing, right? But you are using it in a way that is your home. You make it your home. So similarly, Krishna is giving us so many different things, and we're like renters. And so if we keep in mind that Krishna is given to us, it's owned by Krishna, and we use it, then we can have a great amount of gratitude that Krishna is giving us things, that he's trusted us with these different gifts, whether they're physical or subtle, in the sense of intelligence, that they're coming from him and that he's given it to us. And so we can be very appreciative of Krishna for these things. And if in that appreciation that he's given us these things, then we can look at these things in the right attitude. And the attitude being that Krishna is given to me, so therefore let me use them in his service. Right? So many times in Krishna consciousness we'll read in Bhagavad Gita about family life, and about the ups and downs of family life, right? But as devotees we can say, oh, Krishna has given me this family. He's given me my wife, he's given me my children, and therefore I can take care of them in the most nice way that I can serve. Or if we have some kind of talent, right? We can understand that Krishna has also given us that ability. Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, I am the ability in man, right? So Krishna has given us this ability, any gift that we have. And so in that gratitude, we can have humility. We actually understand that humility is that understanding that nothing is mine, that everything is Krishna's, that everything's coming from him, and he's simply giving these things to me so that I can serve. So in humility, we learned to use things in the proper way. We don't think of them as mine, but we think of them as Krishna's, and therefore we can use them in the most best way for his service. For instance, we can go the opposite way, right? And we can not use our gifts for Krishna. We can be humble and Prabhu, you when you speak, you have such influence. Oh no, not me. I don't have so much influence. And then we say, no, I don't need to speak. I don't need to do these things. But then, is that really using your gift for Krishna? So we want to make sure that we don't have either side of these things, where we think of it our own, and therefore we get puffed up about it, or that we don't want to. We want to make sure we recognize the things that Krishna gives us and the things that we have, so that we can share it with others. I know in my life I'm so grateful for Srila Prabhupada. in teaching us this Krishna consciousness. I have a tendency to be puffed up. I remember one time when I was in high school, I was playing baseball, and my coach gave me the green light on a 3-0 count. And so for you that maybe don't know baseball so well, you get 4 balls is a walk. You get to just walk to first base, and then 3 strikes is an out. And so this person had thrown 3 balls in a row and no strikes. So quite often what your coach will do is say, don't swing. Let's see if he throws a ball, and automatically you get the base for free. This is quite like most of the time. But my coach gave me the green light saying, go ahead and swing away. And so I was like, whoa, like sweet, Because often what happens is we want them to throw a ball so we can walk, but if they throw a pitch, they're trying to get a strike, so they'll throw they might know that you're not going to swing, so they throw you a really easy pitch, And so he threw this ball, and it was right down the center, and I gave it everything. And I mean, we call it going out of your shoes. You swing so hard that you are moving forward. And I hit the ball so hard, and I knew I just hit it perfect, that I didn't even watch it. I knew it was a home run. And so I turned to my bench, and I flexed. I went, oh! My coach, whose name was Coach Lord, he said, Wanty, get around those bases. What are you doing? He was so mad at me. Why are you showboating? You better run. And so I started sprinting. When you hit a home run, you get to run around the bases, but of course nobody can get you out, right? So if you want, you can take a nice stroll around the bases, But if you take a nice stroll around the bases, it's also known as showboating. You're taking kind of like showing off, So he was like, you better sprint. You score and get off the field. And so this tendency comes up every once in a while to think of oh, I hit that ball out of the park, right? And the thing I've come to appreciate about Krishna consciousness is that we can hit the ball out of the park. Krishna will give us the opportunity to give a nice class, or to sing that perfect kirtan, or whatever our gifts are. You guys have so many gifts, right? You teach the perfect yoga class, right? You teach the art that you drew. You nail it. The smile is so perfect. And so many times we have these opportunities where we hit the ball out of the park, right? But as devotees, if we notice that we're taking that as us, this is an anartha. This is an unwanted thing. This is, I'm the owner. I've done it. I'm conquered, and therefore I will conquer again. But the devotee thinks, no, Krishna has given me this gift. I really appreciate it. It's actually him, and I'm using it in his service. But there are opportunities where we get to see in our service that we become puffed up and think of him as ourselves. So what do we do when that happens? Well, the thing that I've realized in my life is that because of my tendency to get puffed up, is when I get puffed up and I realize it, I even get more puffed up. Why? Because I start thinking about myself. Oh, I'm so stupid. I did this. I did that. I should do this. Next time I do this. Next time I'll do like that. And and then all of a sudden in your life, you're realizing how much, in my life, how many things I'm doing that are, for myself. However, over time, I realized the gift that Krishna gives us is sometimes showing us on our anarthas, showing us that, hey, you're a little puffed up right here, or you're a lot puffed up, either way. And so, in that gift, we can appreciate that Krishna is giving us that gift of understanding, where we're at. And so we want to appreciate this gift by no recognizing it, taking responsibility of it, taking radical responsibility. Oh, yes, this is an anartha in my life. This is something that I need to take care of. However, what can we do? What can we do to overcome millions of lifetimes of Maya, thinking that this is mine, or this is, this is I, me, and mine, right? So we pray to Krishna. Krishna, thank you so much for showing me this. I realize that I have this anartha, but you help me by taking it away. You kill this demon. This anartha is a demon. It's holding me back from serving you. Therefore, you kill it. So at the same time, we take responsibility. Yes, I have put myself in a situation where I've turned away from Krishna and become illusioned. But what can I do to overcome it? So Krishna, you please help me. And so in this way, if we take a radical responsibility for our anartha, but yet we don't focus on it more than's necessary, then we really can learn our lesson. We really get the most out of the lesson that Krishna is showing us. If we spend too much time with it or continue to blame things that are outside of us for the anartha, we have a tendency to, it stunts our growth. It stunts our steps towards Krishna. Not saying that there can't be something there, but you won't get the full effect of it if you don't do both these sides, taking complete responsibility for it, but really depending on Krishna to take it away. This is a real formula for how to overcome our anarthas. And so, by turning back to Krishna and asking for his help, we start watering that root of the tree again. We start watering it instead of us worrying about and focusing on our shortcomings or what we can't do. We turn back to Krishna. Thank you, Krishna. I appreciate you showing me this. I take responsibility, but I really need your help. I'm dependent on you. We're automatically watering the root of the tree again. Krishna becomes pleased. So we focus on our service to Krishna. Oh, I don't throw the baby out with the bathwater all of a sudden because I'm puffed up in this way or that way. I don't stop doing my service. I continue my service, really depending on Krishna to become, to do that service in a way that's pure, I was thinking about that in this way, when we're really appreciative of the gifts that Krishna is giving us in these different ways, that we really start to love Krishna. And so therefore, when we love Krishna, we want to share him naturally with others, It's like on the playground when the kids are playing and there's the one kid that's like bragging about their dad, My dad, he does like this. My dad is, he's got this job. He makes so much money, or my dad's this strong. My dad can beat up your dad, these ways. And, if you're a father and you hear your son that's so happy with you that he's telling the other kids about it, you become happy, right? Oh, that's so nice, So similarly, we can be so appreciative of the gifts that our Father is giving us, Krishna is giving us. We can, be very proud of him and say, oh, my dad's so wonderful. We do it in an appropriate way, right? We do it in a way that wouldn't want to embarrass our Father. So we don't do it in a way that's, we do it in a tactful way, So, I think I'll open it up to questions. Just really talked about that everything's coming from Krishna. Everything's a gift. Whatever we have, we give it to Krishna. We use it in his service. Sometimes in our service, we get a gift of understanding what's holding us back from pure devotional service. And in that, we even appreciate as a gift from Krishna. And we say, hey, Krishna, Runa Sindhu, I need your help. Please take this away from me. And we get back to our service. We get back. Our focus is our service, not on the mistakes that we make or our shortcomings. Any questions, comments, thoughts, just to do, please?
Hare Krishna.
Haribo.
Thank you for a nice class. I like this topic a lot. I was just here in class recently. Not sure who it was, but they're talking about how Krishna is not impressed by our material abilities in a sense. Like, because he gave them to us in the first place. He's not going to be like, oh, wow, they're such a great singer. When, like, he's the one who, in the material sense, when he's the one who gave us the ability to sing. And then I was thinking about the third canto, and I think the second canto, actually. And it really struck me how Lord Brahma, he has to create the universe. And Krishna gives him all the ingredients. He gives him, first he like gives him everything he needs for it. Then he tells him how to do it. And then he like says, this and that. And all Brahma had to do was just do it. And then Krishna was so pleased. He's like, wow. I think he even shakes his hand. He's like so happy with Brahma. When Krishna basically did 90% of it, But still, Krishna's, one of his qualities is gratitude. So anyways, yeah, I just thought it was nice. Like, he's impressed by bhakti. He's impressed by, our endeavor, not so much by our abilities.
Such a great point. Sometimes I think of it like if we sometimes there's videos of dogs like singing, like they're singing to songs. We go, oh, it's so cute. The dog's trying to sing, But in the truth, it's like horrible. If you were really to compare it to a beautiful singer, it's like, you're never going to record this dog and produce it out there. But you see it from a dog, and you're like, oh, it's so cute. This dog is trying. Sometimes I see it like we're like dogs, Hare Krishna, and it to Krishna, it probably is like, just like howls, But he looks at us like, oh, you're doing your best to try. It's so sweet, Imagine a cockroach that's trying to sing or something. Yeah, right. Ooh, exactly. Like we really, my speculation is we really don't know how we are in the material world. A cockroach like we are compared to the spiritual world. Like, oh my gosh, look at, woo. But that cockroach is going, doing its best, and you go, oh my gosh, you're a cockroach, but you're trying so hard, and so it endears, you endear to them.
That just reminded me, there's one statement that said that compared to the women on the heavenly planets, the women in this world look like frogs. So I'm sure the singing abilities of humans are not much better.
That girl's the prettiest among the frogs. I'm the prettiest among the frogs. Ribbit, inviting death. Croak, croak, croak. Oh. Any other comments, questions, thoughts?
It reminded me of in Bhakti Marg Swami's book, The Saffron Path. It's all his stories of like walking across the country. And he was telling one morning he was walking really early and he was hearing all of the, like jackals or dogs or wolves like howling in the morning or at night. And he was comparing it to like devotees at Mangalarati that are just like singing like off tune and like can't follow the melody, and like it's just like funny. It's like it's not really what matters, like how nicely we sing. It's like the devotion is what matters.
The whole story of Sudama Brahman is about this point. It really nails it down. Literally has chipped rice. Do you know what chipped rice is? For the longest time I heard chipped rice and I was like, what the heck? It's when you have popcorn and you eat out of a bucket, there's the kernels left, you know? So similarly in chipped rice, once you're done with all the chipped rice, there's just dust, kind of like the dust of the rice that's at the end. Maybe some, broken little tiny pieces. This is chipped rice. It's like the end of the bag of rice, the dust of the rice. And yet he gives it to Krishna, and Krishna and Rukmini, right? Rukmini and Krishna are just like rolling around in ecstasy from Sudama's chipped rice. Really, what do we have,
I was thinking, often we can think we're better than other devotees because of our material abilities. Or it's like, oh, I can cook such a nice Rajbhog offer. I've never cooked a Rajbhog offer, but yeah, like we see, Uddhava was giving Krishna banana peels, right? Like, was that Uddhava? Vidura. Vidura's wife, right? Yeah, not Uddhava. Sorry. Yeah. How do we like, I don't know, maybe look more into how do we see the bhakti more in the devotees or focus more on that?
It's really about our chanting. The more we chant, the more Krishna reveals himself to us. And when Krishna reveals himself to us, we realize how amazing Krishna is. And then when we understand how amazing Krishna is, and then we look in the material world and go, wow, so few people are interested in the most amazing, we start to appreciate those that are realizing how amazing Krishna is. Oh, you know about Krishna? Oh, tell me about him. And so even every devotee is an opportunity to hear about the most amazing in the world, in the creation, everything. Really, it's about us chanting nicely in a way that we are attracting Krishna. And that attraction that Krishna gets, he reveals himself more. The more we see Krishna, the more amazing we realize he is. The more amazing we realize how Krishna is, the more amazing we see his devotees. Any other thoughts on that about how to appreciate the devotees? Oh, any comments on that? If not, we can go to the next subject. Was that okay, Drista? Go ahead, Mom. It's not on. If it's on, you just have to tap it once. If it's off, you have to hold it.
In my experience, if I get too puffed up, Krishna has a tendency to bring me to my knees. That's where the saying comes from, pride goeth before a fall. I know one day I had a really, really stellar day golfing, and then I didn't have time to brag about it because I got heat stroke and spent the rest of the day vomiting. So now every time I think of that day, I think of growing up instead of having a really good day doing that. So that's kind of my experience with that.
I have a similar experience because my coach was named Coach Lord. His name was Coach Lord, and I really could see that it was a lesson in my life that to stay humble and to try your best, to be confident. There needs to be confidence in sports. You can't play sports without confidence. But but you also need to be humble, and Coach Lord would help me with that. And so I felt like it was Krishna speaking through Coach Lord, as I was a kid. Anyways, any other thoughts, comments, questions? Ajit Prabhu raised his hand.
It reminded me also that as devotees we throw it up, and give it up to the disciplic succession or spiritual master like that. I heard from His Holiness Keshava Bharati Maharaj when he started to get these Vyas pujas and all the devotees like glorifying him. At first he was really like uncomfortable. He was saying he was just like this is not good for me to hear all of this, But eventually he started to realize he's like he stopped taking like recognition for it, and he just started to like mentally, emotionally just kind of pass it up to Srila Prabhupada. And then he became really happy, and he was just like, wow, Srila Prabhupada, look how much they love you, look how much they appreciate you and stuff. So, and then he started to take it as like a service to accept this as, but not for himself, for his spiritual master and like that. So all glories to Srila Prabhupada.
I was thinking that, like, I was trying to reflect in my life about that kind of thing. And I was thinking, without my spiritual master, people would be appreciating how much nonsense I could do. I don't even talk about the nonsense, Oh, you can do this. You're so, We get a little bit from our spiritual master, and we speak in a nice way, and people appreciate it. My point is like, at least in my life, like, what I was doing was nonsense that had no reason to be appreciated. But if you speak some words about Krishna and people appreciate it, really, not yours. It's your spiritual master is so kind to give you some understanding to be able to speak. Srila Prabhupada is so kind. Today's the day that Srila Prabhupada arrived in the USA. So we can end it right there. I think that's perfect. That Srila Prabhupada has given us this perfect science about how to love, how to give to the Supreme Person, to serve. Srila Prabhupada would also often tell us that love means to serve. Because we often have this idea of what love is in some kind of, it's a feeling and stuff like that. No, but the love is actually an act, and there's some feelings that come from that are nice. But the love is the devotional service, the act. Srila Prabhupada gave that to us to direct towards Krishna. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Gaura Pramanande Hari Hari Bol. Vanchikalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhu Bhyevacha. Patitanam Pavanebhyo. Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Antikoti Vaishnava Vrindi ki jai. Hare Krishna.